Welcome to Yoga Stretch. My name is Katy. Today we're going to release tight hips. So during your daily activities, you might find that you use similar muscles all day and every day, and so the rest of your body gets a little bit tight. Now, if you're an athlete of any type, you might run, swim, jog, any of those exercises, perhaps even cycle, you're going to find that your hips will get a little bit tight. So we need to concentrate on stretching into the backs of legs, stretching our outer hips, the fronts of the hips, the inner thighs, and focusing on external rotation. So we're going to look at all of those today. Please join me in lying down to begin. So lying down in a comfortable relaxation position, just legs a little bit wider than hips and arms by the sides. Now you can leave your arms there or place one hand on the belly and then the other hand on top. Your belly is between your navel and pubic bone. So we can press the elbows in the floor, hug shoulder blades together, flatten the back down, lift the head, tuck the chin in and lengthen through the back of the head as we place the head comfortably down. Let's focus on our breathing. So we're going to count to 3 as we breathe in and count to 3 as we breathe out. We're going to take 3 breaths. So let's breathe in, 2, 3, pause and hold your breath, breathe out, 2, 3. Let's do that another 2 times. Now bring your arms to your sides. We're going to bring the arms over the head, point the toes to the floor, breathe in, ridge, opening the rib cage and stretching around the chest. Breathe in, hands by sides and walk your feet to the end position. Now we want to bring our feet a little wider, as wide as the mat, and bring the arms out to the sides. Let's lower the knees to one side so the knees should not touch the other leg. So the top knee should not touch the other leg as it goes down. So working gently into the hips now. Okay, walk your feet to the end position so heels line up with hips. Bring your hands to the sides. And we're going to lift the knees up just one at a time. You can place hands under your hips. Otherwise, try and line your knees up with your hips and have your hands by your sides. Nice firm waist. We're going to start to cycle. So you need to keep your waist quite firm for this. Go back the other way. Then bring the hands behind the knees, chin to chest and roll yourself up. We're going to start in a butterfly pose. You can hold your ankles or hold your feet. We're going to lift up the rib cage nice and tall, draw the shoulders down, try and flatten your shoulder blades on your back. Now stretching the inner thigh here and the outer edge of our hips. So let's start to breathe around the rib cage and down to the belly if you can. So draw your knees down a little bit more now, stretching just that little bit extra into the inner thighs. Take 3 breaths into the chest. And then release those feet and extend one leg forward and place the ankle on the knee. Bring your toes forward, make sure your tummy is in and you're sitting nice and firmly on your sit bone. So let's just rest the arm on the knee. You can rest both arms on the knee to put a little extra pressure and stretch that hip. So let's take 3 breaths while we're here. And then we're going to rock the baby in the cradle. So you can take one hand on your foot, the other hand on your knee for level 1 and lift up. Otherwise you can bring the foot in the bend of your elbow and the other elbow around the knee. Lifting up tall, tummy in, and let's move our knee from side to side. Now this is working our external rotation, loosening up into the hips really nicely. Okay, let's press that knee to chest, lift the spine up. That's it, beautiful, and release. Place the ankle on the knee. Make sure the toes are forward and you're sitting tall. This time we're going to bend forward, and that's going to stretch the back of our leg a little bit more than if we don't have that knee there. So if we just do an ordinary rod pose. Okay, so let's lean forward. So just if you can hold your foot, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, just hand on your shin nice and comfortably. Pull the tummy in and let the upper body hang down a bit more. So you want to feel the stretch in the back of that leg. Let's breathe into the belly and the lower back. Walk the hand up the leg, and we're going to change legs. All right, this time the other ankle just above the knee, and let's rest the weight on that knee. The weight of the arm. So that stretches our hips. So again, working into tight hips and finding the breath, bringing it down to the belly and the lower back. So we need to give our muscles time to settle into the stretch. Beautiful. Let's rock the baby in the cradle. So holding the foot and the knee for level 1 or level 2, foot in the elbow, arm around the knee. Lifting up nice and tall, tummy in, let's work into that hip again. And now press that shin to your chest and release, ankle on the knee, and this time we're bending forwards. So lift up the rib cage, breathe in and breathe out, bend forward. Hold your foot if you wish, but whatever you did on the last leg, repeat on this one. Pull the tummy in and let the head sink down and feel the stretch in the back of the leg. Okay, let's take a walk up the leg. Beautiful. And now we're going to extend both legs, give them a shake, and bring the feet back into a butterfly pose. Hold the feet or the ankles if you can. So we're going to lift up nice and tall and pull the tummy in, lean forward. So however far you lean forward is fine. Just pick the position that you can manage. If you can, bring your head to your feet, do. Breathe into your back. Now lifting up, let's bring those knees together. I'm going to take the hands behind the knees and just lift those feet up. So nice tight tummy. Balance, lift the rib cage up, draw the shoulders down, hug the shoulder blades together. And if you can, let's lift those feet up one at a time for a boat pose. Make sure you don't overuse your hips. You can extend your legs up to the ceiling also if you wish. Let's bring the arms to the side. Keep the chin slightly tucked in, back of neck lengthened. Let's take 3 breaths here. Place the hands behind the back and let's extend the legs one at a time. placing the feet down a little bit wider than hips. Let the upper body drop forward. 3 big breaths into your back. Walk your hands up your knees and lift your rib cage up, shoulders are down. We're going to do cat-cow pose. So breathing in, lift the rib cage, hug shoulder blades together, and breathe out. Draw the waist in, drop the chin down. Breathe in, lift the rib cage, hug shoulder blades, and breathe out. Bending forward. Let's do that one more time. And let's cross our legs. Lifting up the rib cage nice and tall. We're going to draw circles with our torso. So let's breathe in and breathing out. Breathe in for the front half of the circle. Breathe out for the other half. And let's go around the other direction. Raise your arms now. Breathe in and circle the opposite way. Breathing in and out. A nice big circle. This should be quite comfortable for you to do. And let's go back around the other way. And let's place the hands down on the knees and changing the cross of the legs. So hands behind the head, we've got a cat-cow pose. So let's breathe in, stretch into the chest. Breathe out, draw the waist in, stretch into the back. Breathing in, open the chest, hug shoulder blades, and breathe out. Tap the elbows together. Let's do that one more time, opening out this chest to stretch and stretching right into the back. And then bring your arms out nice and wide again. Okay, beautiful. So bring the hands down. And we're going to do some cat-cow pose in this position too. So let's lift those hands up one more time. Oh, we're going to twist. All right, so let's breathe in and breathe out. Twist. Breathe in forwards and breathe out to twist. One more time. Breathe in forward and out to twist. Last one. Place your hands on your knees now and roll the shoulders. So let's take 3 circles through the shoulders. And then single shoulder roll, and then back the other way. And take your left hand on your knee, right hand around behind you. Lift up tall through the spine as you breathe in, breathe out to twist. Let's take 3 big breaths into the rib cage. Twist around the other direction. Other hand on knee, hand behind the back. Breathe in, lift up tall, breathe out to twist. Take 3 big breaths. And looking forwards. Beautiful. Now we're going to take our hands, lift them up, palms forward, breathe out, hands down, pull the tummy in, and let's place the elbows down on the floor, let the head drop down. So if you can only move forward a little bit, do that. If you can bend forward like I am, attempt to do this. Breathe into the belly and the lower back. And let's lift up. Bring your legs into a V and take your hands behind your back, lengthen the arms and lift the spine tall. So we're going to do some more of the internal external rotation by rotating the feet in, rotate them out like windscreen wipers. Rotate inwards and outwards. That's it, beautiful. All right, let's bring those feet in and come onto the knees. Now we're going to go into a cat pose. So let's place the wrists under shoulders and the knees can come together. Shoulders towards hips and draw the waist up. Let's extend our right arm, left leg and bring the elbow to knee as we breathe out. Let's do that 5 times. So breathing in, reach, breathe out, elbow to knee. 2 to go. Now place the hand and the knee down. Changing sides. Breathe in, breathe out, elbow to knee. Breathe in, extend the arm and leg. And we've got 3 to go. Place the hand and the knee down. Now this time we're going to bring our arms to a diagonal or 90 degrees if you can. So extend your right arm, left leg. Bring it to diagonal. Now if you can, the arm comes out sideways. Bring your toes forward, the leg comes out sideways. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Bring your arm and leg forward and backwards and lower your hand and knee down. Changing sides. Extend the arm and leg. Bring them to 45 or bring them to a diagonal. And then to the side, toes forward, bring your leg to the side. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, and bring your arm and leg forward and backward, hand and knee down. Now we're going to sit on our heels and rock forward and backward to stretch the tops of our feet. So let's rock forward and backward. Lift the knees up, feel that stretch in the top of the feet as you lift the knees. We've got 2 to go. And last one. And when we finish, come forward, tuck the toes under, walk the hands back to the knees. Let's take a deep breath in, lift the hands up, bring hands down to chest. If this is a little uncomfortable for your toes, you can lift up and take the pressure off the toes. Stay here, whichever position you've chosen, take 3 breaths. Now place the hands on the floor and you can lift your feet up and you can just move your ankles around. Pedal them, rotate them, make them feel comfortable and tuck the toes under, lift the hips into down dog. Now we want to make sure the feet are a hip width apart and the wrists are a shoulder width apart. Stretch your fingers out and see if you can touch the outer edge of the mat with your little fingers. Pull the tummy up, lift the hips up. Shoulders to hips and bring your chest to your thighs. Try and draw your mid back down, keep it nice and flat and take 3 breaths here. Fill up your rib cage. Now come into plank. You may need to slide your toes back. We're going to pause here. So squeeze your buttocks together, widening your hips. Shoulders head towards hips. Tummy lifts, take 3 breaths. Now let's breathe in, plank down to floor or knees and chest down. We've got a sphinx, so slide your elbows forward. Now the sphinx is where we're going to stretch the fronts of our hips. So let's rest on the elbows and line them up with the shoulders. Wrists in line with elbows. Now let's widen the chest, so bring the shoulders out wide, Flatten the shoulder blades onto the back. Draw the elbows towards your hips and move your rib cage between your arms forward. Squeeze the buttocks together. Take 3 breaths down to the belly. You can lift your chin or just look forward. Now slide the hands in under your chest, cobra. Tuck those toes under, come into down dog. Now just move from side to side. Keep your dog loose. And then step your feet together. Lift your right leg up into 3-leg dog. Pull the tummy up and bring the chest towards your thighs, lengthening through the arms. Make sure the shoulders are near the hips. Draw them away from the ears. 3 breaths. Lunge your foot between your hands and lower the back heel down for warrior 1. Sweep the arms back, lift them up, roll the shoulders back, draw them down. Make sure you're stretching through your back, calf and ankle, and your front knee is in line with your ankle. Lift your chin a little if you can. Remember to draw the shoulders downwards. Try to stretch your arms upwards, try to lengthen them. Breathe into the belly. Now breathe in, breathe out, hands to chest, and we're coming into warrior 3, so on your toes. Now lifting up, if you can't lift your foot up, stay here, otherwise hinge your leg up and see if you can get it hip height. Draw the shoulders to hips, pull the tummy up, straighten the standing leg, make sure your chin is tucked in, and let's take 3 breaths here. Now lower the back foot down into high lunge, and then lifting your arms up, rotate through the rib cage so we've got a reverse warrior 2. Let's take 3 breaths here. Keep the shoulders down. Push through the back heel, but the knee stays soft. Then breathe in, lifting the arms up overhead. Breathe out, hands to floor. Front foot back into down dog. And just moving from side to side, making sure you're keeping loose in the shoulders and the hips. And then step your feet together, 3-leg dog. Lift your left leg up. Make sure the toes point at the floor. We're trying to use our buttocks here, not our hip. Okay, chest towards thigh, lengthen through the arms. 3 breaths. Now breathing in and lunge between your hands. Back foot down. Warrior 1 legs. Breathe in. And lift the arms up, roll the shoulders back and down, lift your chin slightly, and your arm position will vary according to your mobility in your shoulders. Let's take 3 breaths as we reach up to the ceiling. Stretch your fingers out. Breathe in and breathe out, hands down to chest. Come onto the ball of the back foot, and we're going to lift up into warrior 3. Make sure the toes point towards the floor, draw the shoulders to hips, pull the tummy up, chin tucked in, flatten the back, 3 breaths. Now breathe in, lower the back toes down, high lunge. Breathe in, arms come up, reverse, warrior 2. Let's take 3 breaths here. Keep those shoulders down, back nice and flat. Shoulder blades flat on the back also. Now breathe in, lifting the arms up, face forward. Breathe out, hands to floor, front foot back, down dog. Just moving from side to side.
And then crouch, look between your thumbs. You can walk your feet forward or you can jump them forward, land with bent knees, flat back. And then forward fold, breathe in, sun salute, lift up. Breathe out, hands down to chest, deep breath in and out. Okay, we're coming into mountain pose now. So let's lift our rib cage up nice and tall, crown of head to ceiling. I want you to feel your buttocks firm up, your tummy tighten, and your thighs firm. So you don't want to be really tight, you just want firmness. Spread the toes out, lift shoulders to ears, roll them back and down. Stretch your fingers, draw them down towards the floor. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now breathe in, lifting the arms above the head in prayer, and then breathe out, lower the hands down, turn them into fists, place them just above your lower back, and then draw the elbows behind and draw the shoulder blades down. Squeeze your buttocks together and push your hips forward. Chin can drop to chest, you can gaze diagonally up or lower your head back. We're stretching into the fronts of the thighs. So let's make sure we press the buttocks together and make sure the hips are pushing forward. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then release, bring your arms above your head in prayer again, breathe in, and then breathe out, chair pose. Push your hips back, draw your waist in, shoulders are down, tummy draws in. Take 3 breaths here. And then continue with your hands down to the floor, flat back. Lengthen through that spine and stretch backs of legs. Breathe out, forward fold and step back to plank. Breathe in and breathe out, plank to floor or knees and chest down. Breathe in, cobra. Breathe out, down dog. Adjust your feet in your down dog and just moving from side to side, loosening up around the shoulders and the hips. Let's step the feet together. Lifting up the right leg, 3-leg dog. You can join me for level 1 scorpion. Bend the knee out to side and look at your toes. Or level 2, lift the knee to ceiling, look under your arms, stretch into the hip and around the side of the ribs. Let's take 3 breaths here. And then lunge your foot forward for high lunge. Sweep the arms back and lift them up. Roll the shoulders back, draw them down. So pushing through that back heel, but always keeping some softness in the back knee. Lift the chin slightly if you can. Take 3 breaths down to the belly. And then open your arms up, lower your back heel down, so your chest and your hips are open. You're in warrior 2 now. So make sure that your knee is lined up with your ankle and your heel is lined up with the back heel. Squeeze your buttocks a little, hips forward, shoulders are down, and turn your gaze over your front middle finger. Breathe down to the belly, 3 breaths. Now rotate the palm, close it into a fist and take your back hand forward. We've got an archer. So we're going to hold the string, breathe in, draw the arm back and breathe out, lift the arm up and hold that string, breathe in, breathe out, lift the arm up, breathe in, one more time, breathe out, lift the arm up. Then bring the arm down, bring your arms to the sides, pivot your feet to face forward. So your feet are parallel, we're going into a forward bend. Palms rotate forward. Breathe in, hug shoulder blades, breathe out. Bending forward, just halfway. Soften the knees. Look directly at the floor. Let's take 3 breaths here. Now lower the hands down under the chest for wide leg down dog. Walk the hands forward, one big hand print. Pull the tummy up, lift the hips up, bring the head in line with the arms. Make sure the shoulder blades are flat and drawing towards the hips so we get the roundness out of our neck and shoulders. Keep the mid-back drawing downwards. So the most challenging bit is getting the mid-back flat. So nice stretch through the arms. Let's take 3 breaths here. Make sure your hips are in line with your heels. Now walk your hands underneath your shoulders and we're going to walk them over to our right foot. So you can leave your hands just next to the foot, or you can take your hand on the outer edge of the ankle and the other one helps also. Resting the head on the arm. Now you can also lift that right hand up to the ceiling as well. Make sure the weight is evenly through your feet so your knees are a tiny bit soft. So let's take 3 big breaths here. Changing sides, so hands are on the floor, walk them over to your other foot. Hand on the ankle, other hand on the ankle. Resting your head on the arm that's extended and lift the left hand up to the ceiling. Make sure the weight is evenly through your feet and your knees are a little soft. Take 3 breaths here. Bring your hand down again and walk your hands to under your chest. Pivot your heels inwards so your feet are diagonal. Walk your hands up to your thighs. We're now in a horse stance and I want you to pull your tummy in and push your hips back. Just rest your hands on your thighs again and drop your right shoulder forward. Nice big stretch around the shoulder blade. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out, stretch through the other side. Breathe in and lift. Breathe out, stretch through the other side. Breathe in and lift. And one more time. Stretch through the other shoulder. And lift. Let's take a deep breath in. Straighten the legs up. Give them a little rest. And breathe out. Bring your arms to a T position. Alright, or a stop sign position. Shoulders are down. Push your hips back. Now you can place your hands lightly on the back of your head. We're going to bend sideways. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Take a bend, breathe in and lift, breathe out and bend. Now you can also tap down to your knee if you want to. Breathe in and breathe out. Tap down, breathe in, breathe out. Tap down and lift yourselves up again. Beautiful. Now lift the arms out to the sides and above the head. Pivot the feet to face forward. And let's dive the hands down to the floor, back knee down to the floor, flatten the top of the foot and lift the toes up. Stretching into the back of the leg now. Another tight spot that we want to release. So let's breathe in and breathe out, bending forward. So you can stay here or place your hands on the floor, chin to chest, head towards your knee. Pause here for 3 breaths. Breathing around the belly and the lower back. Let's walk the hands forward. Tuck the back to under and bring the front foot back again. Okay, lovely. Back to down dog and just loosen up a little bit. And let's step our feet together and lift the left leg up, 3-leg dog.
Now you can go to Scorpion level 1 if you wish. Bend the knee goes out to side, so we're using our hip a little bit more here. Well, level 2, lift the knee right up, stretch into the hip and through the side of the body as well, looking under the arm. Weight evenly through the hands. Let's take 3 breaths here. And lunge your foot between your hands for high lunge. Wide prayer. Sweep the arms back and lift them up. Roll the shoulders back and draw them down. Our shoulders right away from the ears, rib cage lifted. Take 3 breaths. Now reaching the arms up, lower the heel down, bring your arms to warrior 2. Squeeze your buttocks, hips forward, work the inner thighs. Take 3 breaths here. Now rotate your palms sideways, close it into a fist. Bring your back arm forward, hold the string of the bow for archer. Breathe in, draw back, and breathe out, release. Breathe in, draw back, breathe out, release. One more time, breathe in, draw back, breathe out, release. Open your arms wide, come into horse stance, and lift your arms up, breathe out, bring your hands to chest, and breathe in, lift, pivot your feet forward, and breathe out, hands down to the floor. Front foot back into down dog. Just moving from side to side. Let's release any tightness. And rise up on the balls of the feet, come down to knees. And let's rest in child's pose. So just bringing the arms down by the sides, the forehead down. Let the shoulders drop towards the floor. Breathe into your back, right between the shoulder blades. Now let's bring the hands just under the chest, lift yourself up into a camel position. So let's squeeze the buttocks. Now we're going to stretch those hips again. So squeezing the buttocks, pushing the hips forward. Placing one hand in the lower back, turn it into a fist. Push your hips forward, shoulders draw down, and lift your left arm up. Picking your head position, look forward, gaze up, or lower your head back. Take 3 breaths. Now you can actually bring the other hand down to your ankle if you want to make it a bigger stretch. And then we're going to change sides. You can reach down if you want to, or just keep your hand in that, just above the lower back. 3 breaths. Bring your hands down to the floor, tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, walk your hands towards your feet and hold your elbows. Pull the tummy up, let the upper body hang down, chin to chest. Let's move the elbows from side to side. So hands are on the shins, breathe in and breathe out. Let's slide the hands up the legs and lift shoulders to ears, roll them back and draw them down. All right, let's turn sideways. We have a tree pose. And we're going to go into pigeon. So we've got 2 balances together. So let's bring our feet comfortably apart
And we'll start off with tree pose. So let's breathe in, lift the arms above the head in prayer. Breathe out, bring hands down to chest. Roll your right foot forward, bring the knee out to the side. So we've got that external rotation again. Tuck the tail under, tummy in. Shoulders are down. Level 1 or level 2 tree pose. Level 3, lift your foot a little higher. And we're stretching that inner thigh, squeezing the buttocks, lifting tall. And then take a deep breath in, lifting the arms above the head in prayer. Press the palms together, wrap the thumbs around each other. Try to make sure your arms are nice and long. Drawing the shoulder blades down but extending arms up, tummy in. Let's take 3 breaths. Then bring your hands back down to chest. Let's place the ankle on the knee, pull the waist in, and let's float the arms down. Now you can go down to your shin if you want to. No need to go that low if you can't manage. Take 3 breaths. Can you feel that stretch around the outer edge of the hip and the inside of the hip? And let's breathe in, lift up. Give the leg a little kick forward, float the foot down and lower the hands down. Let's give the legs a little shake and try that on the other side. Deep breath in, sun salute, and breathe out, hands down to chest. Rolling the left foot forward, knee out to side, tail under, tummy in, getting that external rotation again so we can release our tight hips. Then you can bring your foot to your calf or heel just a little higher where it was before on your last side. Deep breath in, sun salute. Wrap the thumbs around each other, press palms together and reach the arms up, shoulders down, tummy in, rib cage lifted. Remember to keep your buttocks firm. Take 3 breaths. And then bring the hands down to chest, ankle on the knee, pull the tummy in and sit back. You can float those arms back down to the shin again, stretching the hip and the inside of the hip, outer and inside of the hip. 3 breaths. And then lifting up, let's kick forward and float the foot down. Lower the hands down and take a walk. Beautiful. Give yourselves a little shake. Okay, we're going to come down to the floor for a few extra stretches now. So let's toe heel our feet a little bit wider and come into our squat. So the heels a little wider than hips, hands by sides. Take a deep breath in, reaching up, and breathe out, draw the waist in. Let's come and stretch the hips. This is a wonderful way to stretch your hips. If it is too uncomfortable, go back into a butterfly pose in a seated position. Otherwise, lifting up that spine nice and tall, shoulders down, tummy in, push the knees a little wider, lining up the wrists with the knees. All right, let's take a few breaths here. Lovely, and we're going to take a seat. Extend the legs forward in a rod pose. Let's take a deep breath in, lift the arms up, breathe out, palms forward, pull the tummy in, and let the arms just go straight down. Try not to reach your shoulders forward. You can hold your big toes or wrap your hands around your feet, or just rest your hands on your shins. But your shoulders should be away from your ears. Pull your tummy in and lean forward. Chin to chest, lengthen through the back of the legs. Make sure the back of your knees is lifted a little bit off the floor. And let's stretch the backs of legs so we can loosen up as part of our hips. So remember at the beginning we said backs of legs, external rotation, inner thighs, outer hips.
and fronts of hips. Walk your hands up your legs, and we're going to bring our leg into a position where it's like a half alert pose. So we're bending the knee, sole of the foot faces behind us, and we're going to stretch our sciatic nerve. Bring the toes forward. Now lift the rib cage up, breathe out, pull the tummy in and walk the hands forward. Some of you may be able to bring your hands around your foot. If you can, please do that. Remember, shoulders stay away from ears. And then let's bring the chin in and bring the head towards the knee. You're looking for a stretch in the back of that thigh, and you should feel it around the back of the knee, perhaps tingling in the toes and around the hip. So let's breathe down into the belly and the lower back. Okay, let's lift up now and come into a full alert pose. This is a very big hip stretch. If you can't quite manage it, go into a seated position that suits you better. So lifting the hips up and sit down, and the feet are sideways. Okay, we're going to lean forward, so pull the tummy in and move your hands forward. Now, this is quite strong on the hips, so you just might want to go fairly gently into that forward bend. Let's take 3 breaths here. Breathe down into your hips and stretch the outer edge of your hips. Okay, and lifting up. Let's extend those legs forward and give them another shake. This time you're bringing the other leg over. So line your knees up, bring your toes forward. Okay, lifting up nice and tall, pull the tummy in and walk the hands towards your foot. Again, if you reached your hand around your foot last time, do that again. Otherwise, chin to chest, bring your forehead to your knee. And let's start to breathe down to our belly and lower back. Feeling that nice big stretch in the back of that extended leg, particularly behind the knee, perhaps in the hip and the toes. Okay, let's walk our hands back, and we're going to bring this leg around to the side, coming into our full alert pose, taking a seat, and then if you can, we're leaning forwards. Let's breathe into the hips, down to the belly, down into the lower back, stretch those hips. Out of the head, edge of the hips should be stretching quite strongly. And lifting up. Let's extend our legs, give them a little shake. Now I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. And take a deep breath in. And breathe out, draw the waist in, and let's roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. And walk the feet to the end position. Now we're going into a ramp first of all. So when we're going to the ramp, we're going to pause there for a little bit. And you can come down. Now lift your legs up, come into shoulder stand. So that's level 1. I will be demonstrating level 2, which means I'll go into a ramp and then go straight into a shoulder stand. So please pick something you can do. Now let's draw the navel down, flatten the lower back to the floor, so you do need to tilt your hips forward. Peel the vertebrae off the floor and let's lift those hips up. Now from here, you can stay here for a little bit. Let's take 3 breaths into the belly and just settle into the posture. Now we're going to place the hands underneath the back with all 5 fingers and the thumb under the hip. So lift the hip up, place the hand under the hip. Now this is stretching into our hips now, the fronts of our hips, giving us that little extra release from tight hips. Now if you can from here, we're going to lift one leg up, and then we're going to lift the other leg up into shoulder stand. So thumbs around the waist, fingers around the back, resting on the shoulder blades. Lift your head up a little bit if you can and lengthen through the back of the neck. Going to rotate those ankles one way 3 times, then rotate the ankles the other way. Lovely. Now bring those knees down to the nose, place your palms on the floor, roll down onto your back, and let's hold the knees with the hands, one hand on each knee. Keep the toes together. Let's draw circles with the knees. So I'm bringing my knees together to my chest, then I'm bringing them out wide to push them away. Let's do that one more time. Now back the other way. And let's try one more. Okay, now you can bring your feet wider than the mat, drop the knees inwards, or bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly pose. Let's make sure our back is flat on the floor, so press the elbows in the floor, lift the back up, hug shoulder blades together and flatten the back down. Bring your one hand to your heart center and the other hand to your belly. Lift the head up, tuck the chin in, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let's take 3 breaths or 5 breaths into the belly. Just give yourself a little extra time for the stretch. So inner thigh stretch, helping to release those hips. When you're ready, extend your legs into a comfortable, relaxing position. Let your feet roll outwards. Hands can stay on the heart center in the belly, or you can bring them by your sides, flattening the shoulder blades, palms up. Roll your thighs outwards, your feet outwards. Give them a little shake just to help them loosen up so you can be nice and comfortable in your hips. Breathe down to your belly another 5 times. Now you can stay in relaxation for 5, 10, 15 or 20 minutes. Just turn off the video and then rejoin us again. So we're not going to stay here much longer. We're going to move our fingers and toes and breathe down to the belly. And then walk your feet to the end position and roll to your side. Then lift yourself up into a seated position, resting hands on knees or in the lap. Lifting the rib cage up gently and relaxing the shoulders down. Just drop your chin to chest and move your head from side to side just 2 or 3 times. Now lower the hands towards the floor and lift them above your head in prayer. And breathe out, hands down to chest and thumbs to heart center. Breathe down to your belly, bring your breath to your rib cage, up into shoulders and into the back. And breathe out. And again into the belly, into the rib cage, shoulders
and back, and breathe out. Take one more deep breath at your own pace. And have a peaceful heart and a peaceful mind and a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. And if you enjoyed this video, press like and make a comment. You can also subscribe to my channel and get regular updates. Thank you for joining me.